Hi, this is Naftali speaking. Welcome to the channel, and I believe you are doing well this moment. Today, I want to talk about facilities within as part of the occupational health and safety in the workplace. So, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to my channel, and so that you can be notified in future when I come again online with another training. So, if you have not watched yet the first introduction video, please go back and check that. I posted it 3 days ago. So you can go there and get to understand the whole act. What is the act requiring us to comply with as employees or as employers? So you can go and visit that one. So now, today, health and safety at the workplace, I still say it is your responsibility. So make sure that you do what is necessary to protect yourself, to protect your other employees or your other friends, colleagues in the working environment. So, with that being said, let's go into our presentation of today, and we see how far can we tackle. So please, on the comments, just tell me where are you connected from, and as you learn something, please share with us what are you learning on this presentation. So okay, before I continue, as I do always, just take note that I'm not the OHS advisor or career advisor. All the information shared on this channel is for personal use, only achieved through my experience working in the occupational health and safety environment. If you require professional advice or help, please contact your nearest advisors. They will be able to help you. Okay, the target audience that I'm expecting to be watching this presentation is everybody that is involved in employment or involved in employing others. So you are more than welcome. Section number 47 of the Act said it is state bound. So meaning the Act is binding all the employers and the employees to comply with the Act. So let's continue. Okay, today I'm going to touch on few points: buildings and floors, illumination, ventilation, temperature, housekeeping, economics, major hazard installation, stacking and storage, ladders, lifting equipment, personal protective clothing, lockout systems, hand tools, and symbolic safety signs. So let's go into the first point and see. Right, buildings and floors. A building must always be in a good state of repair, so meaning you must take care of your buildings. Good control includes the following: investigate the cause of spillages or spills, clean up by using the right tools or personal protective equipment. The floor type must be appropriate for the work being done in that area, and you must store whatever equipment you are using in the right place after you use it. And the responsible people must be appointed. So you must assign responsibilities to specific people. It cannot be when something happens, then you are running around not knowing who is responsible. Right, illumination. Good illumination or a lack at the workstation is of utmost importance. So no dark areas are allowed, or they are good in the working environment, because people tend to not to see well, and incident happens in such areas. So windows and skylights must be clean, and emergency lights must be available and maintained all the time so that they can work in case of emergency. And you must report all the defects as soon as possible and replace all the bulbs in order to have the correct lighting within your workspace. Okay, then in terms of ventilation, sufficient airflow is of utmost importance, either natural or artificial, within your working place or within your buildings or your facilities is of utmost importance. Then we need a free airflow within the area, because that enhances manpower to perform well. Mankind, as we know, that our brain needs fresh air, oxygen. So if you have free flow of air, then that will help us to stay healthier. And in terms of temperature, it is measured in terms of what is called joule. And the ways the body loses temperature is either through radiation, evaporation, convection, conduction, and the comfort limit that is acceptable to almost everyone. It is between 16 to 24 degrees Celsius. So just try to make sure that your workplace is in that range, so that people can enjoy being in that environment. Okay, in terms of housekeeping, a place for everything and everything in its place. So the general principle of housekeeping is you must replace all items. Whatever you use, you must put it back where you found it and stack items neatly. The walkways and stairways and roadways must be clean and clutter-free at all times. And you must clean up spillages immediately. And you provide waste bins for your employees, or the employer must provide enough sufficient waste bins so that employees and visitors can be able to throw their waste inside the bin. Okay, economics, make the job fit the worker, not the worker to conform to the job. So you must just make your workspace, or your employees must be able to be the job must fit the employee, not the other way around. So, meaning you must make your people to be comfortable, because the more you do that, then the productivity will increase. So, factors that can influence worker comfort and health is lighting within your buildings and noise, temperature, and vibrations, as well as workstation design. So, if you just enhances some of those things, make sure that your employees they are compatible very well with that, then their performance or the output will also increase. Okay, major hazard installation. So any structure processed or produced, used, handled, or stored in such a form or quantity that is it has a potential to cause a major incident should something go wrong, that is regarded as a major hazardous installation. So examples of such is refueling points, fuel bunkers, fuel bowsers in parking areas, for example, and LP gas storage areas. Those are regarded as major hazardous installation. And the management, maintenance, and inspection of such areas is of utmost importance, because it will just avoid an incident or major incident taking place in the working environment. Right, staking and storages, maximum staking height is at least 3 times shortest distance at the base. So as you go up, you can make your size to become thinner so that it cannot fall. And you must break down from the top to the bottom, and not climbing on as you are packing. You can't climb on what you are packing. You have to at least provide a ladder where people can climb on in order to pack things higher than standing on top of what they are packing. So pallets and racks must be in good condition, and the loads must be stable and tied down, especially if you are moving picking on the vehicle. So materials must be labeled, and the ISO of must be wide enough to accommodate in terms of traffic. So your load cannot be bigger than the size of your vehicle. So it needs to be within the parameters of your vehicle as you are moving on the national road. Otherwise, that is classified as abnormal load. So you need to have the necessary escorts in order to make sure that you don't put other road users at a risk. Right. Leathers, the choice of leather is determined by the following: frequency of use. How often do you use that leather? So then you will decide if you will need a permanent or a portable. So, and the physical characteristics of the user also always plays a very important role in terms of choice of your leather, and the purpose for which and condition in which the leather is to be used. So that will determine if you're going to have any of these two types of leathers: fixed leathers or portable leathers that can be moved from point to point. So just take note of that. And as you work on the portable ladders, it is recommended that one person must hold while another one is working on it. Okay, lifting of equipment is used to raise, lower, or transport heavy loads, and operators must be trained, and operators must be licensed where it is required, and the checks must be according to the fixed standard. So at least a year, once per year, some of the equipment must be checked per year to make sure that they still all right, and the cabling as well must be tested now and then to make sure that it can still hold the load that it's supposed to. And examples of this lifting equipment is electrical or air hoist, cranes, and the forklift trucks, for example. Right, personal protective clothing or equipment. This is they must be used as a last resort. So, but it is also valuable in an interim measure. For example, there is some engineering controls that are not in place yet, and you are in a process of making them to be in place. You can so long use personal protective equipment, but it must be appropriate to to mitigate on the hazard that is at hand. So all protective equipment has limitations. So make sure that you understand what limitations are on your personal protective equipment, and they are designed with a specific purpose in mind. For example, a hard hat is designed to protect your head, so not other way around. So the goggles will be for your eyes and so forth. So make sure that you use the right protective equipment for the right part of your body. Right, lockout systems, it is a control procedure that ensures employees cannot activate any potential source of energy without authority or training. So that is a very important field, that in any working environment where you are, if there has to be someone working in a place that is maybe supposed not to have power by the time they work on, so there need to be a way to lock out that area in order for someone not to switch on the switch while a person is working inside that workstation. So lockout must be mechanical, and all employees must be trained on these lockout systems, and the equipment must be designed to accommodate a separate padlocks or locks so that someone can use his own lock. So person working on the equipment must apply his or her own lock on that system so that when he come back, he can be able to remove and he switch on whatever that needs to be switched on. Right, hand tools. Hand tools must train your employees in the correct use of hand tools and use hand tools for the purpose intended. For example, using a wrench as a hammer will damage the thread to the wrench. So, and carry out checks and inspection on hand tools as often as possible. Report faults and damages and withdraw and substitute the hand tool if necessary. And move heavy tools using the trolley instead of carrying them around. Repair must be done by qualified persons on hand tools, and use tool belts and waste bags when working above the floor level with your tools. So don't try to put it in the pocket or hold it with your hand. Have a bag or a belt that you can be able to put your tools there as you are working above the floor level. Right. Lastly, symbolic safety signs. These they are according to the South African national standard. So this is a global. I can say within the country we are abiding by this, even on a global base, because this is an international standard. So warning signs will have a yellow triangular with a white black borderline. So and the prohibitory signs will have a white circle with a red borderline, and mandatory signs will have a blue circle with a white borderline, and information signs will have a green square with a white borderline, and fire protection will have a white square with red borderline. So that is it in terms of safety signs. So those are the what comes inside the sign. It is something that anyone can decide on, but the colors need to be as such. So I went to, as I was passing in one area at one stage, I saw fire. There's some of the signs that were there for the bathroom and whatsoever warning signs. They were actually they used information sign that they used on top of them. They used the fire protection sign or square, so that which was not right in terms of the act. So just make sure that you put the right frame on your signs. Right. In conclusion, when you work with this occupational health and safety, you must be willing, or you must be someone who like to ask questions, because what this is what the Chinese proverb says, whoever asks a question is a fool for 5 minutes, but whoever does not ask a question remains a fool forever. So you need to be able to ask questions in order to learn in this environment. You can't just assume that you know everything. Right. Now, in conclusion, I want to still say once again, just take note, I'm not an advisor in terms of OHS, and I am not a career advisor. So whatever information you found in this channel, use it for yourself. And if you can, also share with other people, but let them know that they need to consult with their professional closer to them if they need any professional help, and they will be able to get assistance from the professionals next to them. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being on this channel, and I believe that you have learned one or two things. So please subscribe if you have not yet done, and connect with us each and every time. Comment and tell us where are you connected from, so that we can give you a shout out on the next session that we're going to have. May God bless you, and please work safe. Health and safety is your responsibility. Thank you very much. God bless you. Goodbye.